Like you kind of learn more and more and more about the concept of this album, and it's really cool.
They're so underrated.
So underrated, but also how
He's like the Mariah Carey of fucking metal singing, dude.
yeah, it kind of is.
How is that not gent? How is it not?
Now, I don't know too much about how Kezia actually came around, but I know the album itself, which is incredible. I think Kezia is considered one of the better albums of all time because of the way that it was written as well. It's another one of these albums, and especially for the time, like being so early as 2005. This is an album that like had a purpose. Like they told a story through it. They were pretty young. Like they themselves were like 16, 17 years old, or maybe even younger when they came up with this album. They're still high school students. Like I think they were still in high school even when they started touring for this album, which is crazy to think about.
You want to hear something crazy? Oh, sorry, keep going.
So Kezia, they took an actual story about something that actually happened. Like it's a concept album. It involves wow, they actually are connected to Alexisonfire. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Huh? Say the same producer as Alexisonfire. What are the odds of that? So there you go.
It's okay. So I'm just looking on their Wikipedia.
Yeah, me too.
So Fortress is obviously like the album we know. Blood Meat, Bone Marrow, Scarecrow Throne, Limb from Limb.
Yeah.
Like that's our album. It's showing Volition as like their best album. That's so fun. Wikipedia's, I guess, actually, Fortress was still number 1 in Canada, whereas Volition was 7. But like US, in the US, Volition did better than Fortress, which is crazy because I don't know any song off Volition.
Their newer stuff, the newer stuff fell off for me too. I'll be honest, like I didn't keep up after Fortress as much. I think I remember Scurrilous, like their 2011 album. I vaguely remember that one, and then for me at least, I remember. I kind of fell off for
I don't know anything after Fortress, because I was good. Heretics and Killers, obviously, Bury the Hatchet, Divine Suicide of K, so good, dude.
Yeah, I think Volition seems a little familiar, but I guess ultimately too, we should listen to more Protest of Hero because we haven't given them the newer stuff as much of a chance as I think we think.
I've never heard Protest I didn't like, so I gotta listen more.
I did. I think that's why I stopped listening to them at some point.
There probably is. I guess there probably is, right?
Yeah. So like for me, I did because I came on with Protest at Kezia. Their first video that they ever did it was that I remember them, was Blindfolds Aside. This is their first song that was like a video for them that, again, it was in the background of much music. So like if you were like, I used to fall asleep to much music and stuff like that, like, and you'd wake up at like 1 a.m. and there'd be like, interesting music like this on at 1 a.m. So I think
dying will be the death of me.
Stuff like that. Carnage. Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's how Protest the Hero came around my radar originally. And it started with Blindfolds Aside. Another really cool video actually to go along with it. But this was off of an amazing album. So, and I actually want to give the context to this. So the next 2 songs are off of their first. It was the first album for me, at least, that like really put them on the map. And there was a theme to it. So there's a story like going along. They're basically like something happened. Basically, like in Kezia is referencing a girl who I guess in some point in history was sentenced to death for a crime she didn't commit, and then was executed in front of like a whole town because no one spoke up about the fact that she was innocent, basically. And the perspectives of the songs across the album are told from different perspectives. So the prison priest, like the priest that like runs the prison, and like you look at the track listing of Kezia, and it's done in sections. So the first section is from the perspective of the priest, and that's where we're going to get into Heretics and Killers. It's from his perspective and his view of the atrocity that's going on now with Kezia in the judicial system, where she's about to be killed for a crime that she didn't commit, but no one has the balls to stand up for her for fear of their own prosecution or part in it. Then the second part of it, Bury the Hatchet and Blindfolds Aside, are told, like lyrically, are told from the perspective of the prison guard. So we're going to get into Blindfolds Aside next, because that was the first one that kind of touched my radar for them. And if you follow the trail of this, like you kind of learn more and more and more about the concept of this album, and it's really cool. Like the lyrics they're really not boring. They're quite interesting because it's not just about it's not a typical love song. It's not a typical, I hate this or that. It's not like some political question or whatever. It's like a existential question, and it's done from these different perspectives, which makes it lyrically just very vastly interesting. So that's how I like really fell a lot more into Kezia overall as an album. I think it's great. Divine Suicide of K, another one that's just like great. This album really is another one of these albums that's kind of actually meant to be listened front to back, because it's documenting a story and apparently a real one. The concept I think actually did happen in real life, and it sort of picks apart people who just have been a part of something that, you know, the government or like bigger entities kind of force them into, basically. So anyway, blindfolds aside, this is about someone who's a prison guard dealing with, you know, a situation that they don't necessarily agree with, but it's his job. So it's another great song. But this is my introduction for myself to protest. So let's check this out. Protest the Hero, Blindfolds aside.
I do recall that song being like way back, like I think before like the Score Throne, right?
Yes. So
I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that video.
Yeah. So that was their first touch of airwaves from my perspective, from when I remember.
Yeah, I think
so. But classic. I mean, like, it's crazy. Even from the video, like, you can see that they're clearly like kids. They're like 15, 16 years old.
Dude, Periphery's first album was 2010. I'm just saying that all these Gen people can come after me all they want. I'm not saying Protest started Gen, dude, but like
they're definitely more of a pioneer of it, for sure. 100%.
How is that not Gen? How is it not?
But dude, can you imagine like teenagers coming up with this stuff, writing that and like make it? That's crazy, dude. Can you imagine a 15-year-old, like a band of like 15, 16-year-olds writing like an album like that now? What the fuck? Are you kidding?
It's pretty wild stuff.
Insane.
They're so underrated.
So underrated, but also how? Like, it's artistically so hard to fathom coming up with that stuff at that age. It's crazy. Absolutely has to have been a type of pioneer, at least in the writing aspect, but definitely like musically. Just
I want somebody else to name a band that would be like someone to compare them to.
I could put Pulmonary Archery next to Protest, though, right? Like, there's Alexisonfire. I could put next to.
There's Alexisonfire parts. Yeah, the heavy Alexisonfire.
Yes.
The real original heavy Alexisonfire.
Counterparts, remember them? Like Boil Frog. Like, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I could put that next to it for me.
But that wasn't gent. That would be. I would never call that.
Alexisonfire had more of like a punk sort of sound, whereas Protest had more of a metal or a heavier deathcore sort of sound to them.
It's just a cluggy.
Yeah, a little more cluggy than Alexisonfire, but close, damn close. Still in that sort, like, because they both still have their melodies too. Like Protest still had like their melodic sort of style that like weaved in and out as well. Both of them have that. It's just interesting that, like, you know, with Alexisonfire, you had the two vocalists kind of doing it both, whereas I feel like at Protest they have two vocalists as well, but like the high pitched, like, more singing style comes. He's kind of doing both, right? Like, he does have his screams in there, and then he kind of mixes it with like the you know, higher octave singing that he's got.
He's like the Mariah Carey of fucking metal singing, dude.
Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah,
he goes everywhere.
Yeah,
he's got more octanes than anyone else in like metal screaming.
It's true. Like,
nobody else goes that high. That's for sure.
Yeah, but even for
nobody else goes that high.
Even his screams though as well. Like, his screams are still screams, but they're definitely in a higher octave, right?
He can give you the guttural.
Yeah, he's able to do something. Well, even then, like, his highs are that good that he doesn't need to go that low anyways. His highs are great as they are. Like, you can have both. You can have great high screams, higher octave screams than lower ones, and then that's your bread and butter, and that works too. Hey everybody, more Canadian Protest the Heroes coming up next. The final installment of this last session that we did on them, Heretics and Killers. Great song, maybe an even better video. We're checking out. Stay tuned.